In this video, I would like to discuss duplicate form field ID. Now wait a minute, where does that come from? Well, it says there's 28 of them, and it just happens to be that there's 28 controls on this particular page. So if I want to find out more about it, I go down here, and it tells me the violating resource. If I go up here, switch my camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Up here it says, this is the problem right here. Chrome has done some really nice things as far as helping developers find errors. This is one of the things that I really like. And many times when I'm working on something, I don't think everything through in detail because there's a lot to think about. But in this case here, the ID is the same ID for everything. Color palette input. Wait a minute, that's got to be this guy here. So let's double check. Yep, so it's him. So when I highlight here, you can see it'll highlight here and you'll see a little box. So that tells me that that's where that is. Let's go look for the next one. See a pattern here. Yep, every one of those. Now the question is, how do we handle this properly? To begin with, we see here that it's hard-coded for the color palette input. So here's the label and here's the input. That's correctly done, but the problem is I've got quite a few on the screen there and they're not unique. I need a unique ID here. So how do I do this? Well, over here we have a scenario where we are using a unique ID. So how did this get created? Let's take a look at this. If we go and we look where this is defined, we see a unique ID. There's form input. Let's scroll up. This is interesting. Here's providers. Here's a value accessor, and it's for this, multi-true. I'm not sure if this is required, but I'm going to use it. This, I believe, is required. Now, this piece of code I found on something else, and it's been several months since I put this in here. So I don't remember exactly where it came from, but I do remember doing this. And up here's a unique ID. This unique ID is not exported, so it tells me that that is unique to this particular component, reactive input component. Now if I go over here, let's look at the color palette generator. This is where I need that same, so here's where the unique ID is. So I need the same type of thing in here. So let's begin by just copying this, and we're going to paste that right there. And then we're going to go and we're going to copy this block right here, and we're going to paste that right there. But we don't want the reactive input component, we want this component. So we're going to copy that, and we got to import that. So that's unique ID there. What else was done? And we're going to copy that, and I'm going to put that right above that. Now I don't want this form input. That's not what I'm looking to put in there. I want to put color palette input. So I'm going to copy that, change just that. Okay, so color palette input underscore, and then my unique ID. Now, if you'll notice, I've got an increment going on here, and I have an increment going on here. Let's see what that does, because I may not need both of those. I may not need this up here. I don't know, but this works. And a lot of times in development, we just do stuff because it works, and we don't understand it. That's not a good idea. It's not a good practice. We want to find out why. So this RF input ID is what I want to use. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go in here and we're going to change. And what that will do is it will repeat it. Now for each of these, so this right here and this, these are all the same component. Let's go back over here. So this is the component that's building that table of color. This is where it's listed right here. Okay, these are all the different colors. Here's emerald, green, lime. Up here's primary, dark surface, light surface. that's where that's coming from. Now let's see what happens. Let's save this. And now let's go back to the web. And let's do a refresh. We have no issues detected. So let's take a look at this particular one here. Inspect. Here's the ID here. Color palette input 2. Let's see what this one is set to. Color palette input 29. Color palette input 3. Color palette input 4. Okay, so we got 2, 3, 4. And this one up here is, I'm not sure why it has such a high number, but they are unique. So that's 29 on that one. So they are unique. So let's go check this one down here. That's 19. Let's check this one here. That's 28, 28, 29. Okay. So the issues have gone away and we fixed that. Let's look back at the code and see what we did here. So we added this guy here. And why does this increment? And how is it kept from, it's like a singleton. Every time I create this class, this particular variable is still there. And it's like a singleton, it's being incremented. That is how you generate your unique ID. And so that's coming in here. Now let's try some things with this. Let's take this part out and see what happens. Go back to the web and let's inspect this one. Color palette input 0, 27. So it looks like so remember it started out with 2 before, but now it's starting out with 0, which sounds better. So it looks like we didn't need that provider, that provide thing up there. Now this value accessor I think is necessary. I think it helps. I'd have to dig into that to find out why. But it looks like we don't need that other thing incrementing it as well, because this right here handles it. So this is all we need. So where I got this from was out of here, and I probably don't need that right there. Let's go back and look at this. So now we've got everything working. Go back over the web. Hammer at this just to see if anything breaks. Color palette input 0. Let's go to light. It's 28 now. It's still 0. Is this one 1? Okay, so it looks like this one, then this one, and then these guys. And then this is done after. So this one down here, see what number it is. It's 26. So this will be 28. So if I go back to dark, this is probably 27. Or no, it's 29. What's this one again? 26. Interesting. It's almost like something is allocating a component, but then not using it. So that's an interesting thing. All right. So to review, what we had to do is we had to give a unique ID, and we set this up here so it's global to the class, and it's not exported, so it's unique. It's more like a singleton to this particular class. And each time I instantiate a new instance of this class, I'm incrementing it here. So I increment after. If I had a plus in front of it, it would increment before using it. Since I'm doing it after it, it increments it after. And just to prove that, let's take this off and let's put it up here. Save that. So the first one, instead of being 0, it should be 1 now. And there it is, it's 1. And this one, instead of, I think it was 29, it'll be 28. And this one was, I think it was 26. So it'll be 20. Okay, so 27, 28. Okay, that makes sense. We can go back and reset this so it comes after. So we use the 0 initially, and then we build that. So let's save that. Go back to the web. This should be 0 because we didn't increment until after. So there's 0. This one should be 1. That's 1. This one should be 2, and that's 2. You can see an easy way to handle the unique ID. I hope this video has helped you. Please like and subscribe, and we will continue to make more videos. Thank you.